as you guys can see, I'm at a ChargePoint charging station. So something interesting has happened at these chargers. I know there's always going to be people in the comments below that don't like EVs. I get it, guys. They're not for everybody. Even myself, sometimes I go, why did I do this? But most of the time, I enjoy doing it. I like it. I like electric vehicles. But, you know, it's interesting. I got an email the other day from one of the charging networks, Blink. They're a big one. Our local Ford dealership where I work in the area has one by Blink. And I got an email from them because I have an account. And it said all our charging are basically I don't remember exactly the email, but it said that their charging network was down. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really use Blink too often anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I really didn't think much about it until I got an email 24 hours later that it was over 24 hours later that the network came back on. I don't think anyone really got an explanation of what happened. But then today I got an email from ChargePoint, which is the charger I'm at now, that their network is now down. And I'm like, that's weird. That's interesting. So it started a conversation at work. Could you imagine you have your local gas station, Mobile, Shell, BP, whatever it is, and all those mobile stations shut down? Well, you could still go to Shell, right? You could still go to BP, or, you know, one of them shuts down, you go to the other one. That's basically what happened here, you know, but the only thing is, it's not like gas stations where sometimes you'll come to an intersection and there'll be, you know, 2 gas stations on the corner. Sometimes there'll even be 4. Sometimes there's 1, or maybe there's another one up the road. With electric vehicle chargers, they're not spread out like that, where usually there's a whole bunch of different brands of electric vehicle chargers in the same location. The location I'm in now is not like that. There actually is Blink. There's ChargePoint. I can also use a Tesla supercharger that's local that has a magic dock on it. So there are quite a few chargers. So a very unusual area. So I came to work today knowing that I was going to have to go to the charger at some point and charge my car because I was down to about 20 miles. So I wouldn't make it home. So I was like, all right, I'm coming with the intention to charge the car. I'm waiting to get the email for the email confirmation to come back, and it doesn't come back. Never get nothing. So I'm like, all right, let me go down to the charger, see what's going on. So I go in the app, network down. Basically, none of the chargers are able to be located. So I'm thinking about going on a road trip. I live in New York State. I'm thinking about driving down to Orlando, Florida. I have 2 vehicles. I have a Mustang Mach-E, which I love my car, and I have a Ram 1500, which is not very good on fuel. Just going one way with the Ram 1500 is probably going to cost me $250 to $300. With the Mach-E, I'm thinking it's probably going to cost me about $150 to $200, but it's going to take 6 more hours to drive the Mach-E down. But, you know, that allows time for me to take breaks and relax and rest because I'm going to be driving myself. What if this charging network went down and I couldn't charge at any of these electric vehicle chargers? Now, you can charge at the chargers still, just the maps aren't available. So what happens for people who are not as familiar with this is when you put in a destination that you're going to and it's further than the vehicle can make it on the electric charge, it'll actually map out electric vehicle chargers for you to tell you where to stop. Now, if this happened while I was on vacation en route, I don't know where all the chargers are. I know where they are locally. You know, I can travel outside my area quite a bit. I could go to Connecticut, other places in New York State, New Jersey, that I'm familiar with, and I know where a lot of the places I visit, I know where the chargers are. But if I was going all the way down to Florida, traveling down Interstate 95, I have no idea where electric vehicle charging stations are unless there's a sign on like a rest stop that says, hey, there's an EV charging station here, there's gas, there's food, you know, things like that. What do you do? What do you do? You look at other charging networks, but it's kind of an inconvenience, you know, if you're not local to one. So like this one was local, even though their whole entire network was down with the maps not showing where the EV charging stations are. And keep in mind, this is just one brand. This is ChargePoint. So this is like your Shell gas station. You know, there's many brands in it. Like you have Mobile, BP, and Shell. You have ChargePoint, Blink, EVgo. There's other brands, Electrify America. All their networks aren't down, but this one is down. This is the one I use the most. What do you do? You know, I guess you use the other networks, but It's very interesting. So we're having this conversation at work, and people are like, you know what? I bet you they were hacked. They're not saying anything, but I bet you they were hacked. Imagine that someone took the time, possibly theoretically, to hack these into these systems and shut down their entire network. Now, this isn't unheard of. It's happened with credit card companies before. I remember I had a HSBC credit card years ago, and I want to say it was the grocery store that's up in the Northeast called Stop and Shop, or it was either them or Target, and one of them were hacked. All the card numbers were stolen. You know, we've had it happen to websites. You know, now it's happening to electric vehicle chargers, possibly. It's absolutely insane. You know, I don't know why people do this stuff. I don't know what they get out of it. Maybe they're getting credit card information. But even though my app wasn't working, I couldn't turn on the charger. I basically walked up to the charger. It has an RFID reader on it. I took my credit card, stuck it to the front of the charger, and it read the card. I mean, most people have a credit card that can do that, you know. But if you're using your phone, I mean, if you're driving an electric car, you're probably into technology. I'm sure you have a card I'm sure you have a smartphone. I'm sure you have a card with an RFID chip, so you can still get these things started. It's just very interesting and peculiar to me that Blink went down and then ChargePoint went down. I wonder if these companies are communicating with each other, like Electrify America, saying, hey, you know, ChargePoint, hey, this just happened to us. This is what we found out. This is what's going on. You might want to look out for this, you know, because there are other companies out there with chargers that maybe they want to look into this too, if that's indeed what happened. That's my suspicion is what happened, that someone hacked into the network and took out their whole entire network. It's kind of interesting to see where the future's going. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.